Om Namah Shivaya. 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 All right, so the live is about the book club that we're forming. About a year and a half ago, I was talking about an esoteric book club. And yeah, I was waiting for people to put it together. I didn't, I thought, well, eventually that'll happen. And then nothing happened. So I've put together this book club. It's going to be something that me and Andromeda Flame do together when she has time. She's been like really, really busy, but I'll be like the main person. She's my equal in all ways, but she'll be also helping me run or suggest books. She's an avid reader. And so the Esoteric Book Club, if you want to join it, is on Telegram. We'll have weekly meetings on Zoom, and we'll talk about the books. The reason why you see the cover of my book is because the first book is going to be my book. And the reason it's going to be my book is because most of you know me because of the Twin Flame Journey. And this is a book about twin flames. It's incredibly erotic. So if erotic is not your thing, people call it spicy, which I hate that word. It's fucking erotic. It's erotic. So if you know Anais Nin, if you know some of the more... there's an incredible book of erotica called The Olympia Reader. And the guy who was publishing it in Paris in the 1950s kept getting arrested and going to the French courts. And erotica is not pornography. There's a difference. Because erotica is a concept of love. There's some kind of aspect of love and connection, soul karmic bond of some kind. But it is it's a specific genre that is not smut. Smut is smut. And so why is this important in such a book? By the way, this book was based on my own recollection, and I've gotten some really good reviews. And I've been blessed to see the transformation of people reading the book, believe it or not, in their understanding of their own journey and not being so, judgmental on themselves. And the sexuality is important because the way they make love in the present tense as opposed to 3,500 years ago is somewhat different. There's a power struggle going on in the ancient world that is not so present because they're more in equal footing. Women now having rights, things of that nature, if you get my drift. And it is about forgiving the unforgivable. And I have a hard time self-promoting things like this, but I'm getting out of my own way to do it because I'm realizing that the way it's formatted back and forth, 1997 to 3,500 years ago, every chapter changes timelines, is flipping the switch on people's subconscious portals and opening their own remembrance of past lives. That's actually now why I'm starting to promote it. By the way, it's banned by TikTok a week into its being released when I was trying to promote it on TikTok. And I really don't know why. I seriously don't know why. All I can say is that I'm going to call it, and I'm going to say this straight up, and it's not to kiss my own ass, but it's an intelligent woman's erotica. If you've ever read Anais Nin's Delta of Venus, if you know about her work, her diaries and things of that nature, her journals are very intense. They were written during the 1920s and 30s, and she was straight up fucking honest about what she was experiencing. And she was a huge inspiration to me being very comfortable, besides the fact that my parents, when I lived in California, in Southern California, my parents had a very eclectic library, and I had access to everything at the age of 14, including erotica, by the way. So I read a lot of things at a very early age that most kids from my generation would have never been exposed to. And it formed a sense of comfort in the language and what you can communicate through that genre, because it is a genre that's very specific, that is something, we're all here because of it. None of us are from the Immaculate Conception, unless you can tell me something different. And yet there's a very puritanical shame to it. So it's kind of weird. You have to understand, when I first came to, by the way, on the side note, I'm half American, half French, just in case you didn't know. I was born in Paris, France, and my father was an American GI. Long story short. Now, let's get back to when I first came to this country. This is how puritanical, and I'm going to give you a kind of an understanding. So there was a bra commercial for, right, and the girl's getting out of bed nude, putting on her bra. It was for a Chantilly bra commercial. I'll never forget it. And then I came to this country, and women were wearing leotards down to the wrist, putting on a Playtex bra. There you go. So we've come a long way, baby, when we have all kinds of chicks jumping up and down to show you how the bra works, okay? So with that consciousness from my generation specifically, women grew up with some issues. Cosmopolitan was telling you how to get the 7 O's. This was in the 1970s and 80s, and that was the pursuit of the big O. Bullshit like that. And women, basically, of my generation, never experiencing the big O, much less the small O. All of that is connected to trauma in the root chakra. This is not some kind of biological frigidity. It's about the foundation of how the root chakra in this incarnation and many past incarnations was formed. And it creates a barrier to your creativity, to your ability to be lush in the way you create work, whether it's writing, raising a family, inventing something, running a business, having the courage to go out and travel. I'm not joking. The shit's fucking deep. When that root chakra is blocked, you're fucked. Period. End of story. And you have to constantly think of ways to shake it up, to decalcify. Constantly, because of the infrastructure we live on currently. Taxes, bills, grocery bills, job security, food security. It's crazy. And you constantly have to be in connection with your chakras. You've got to keep lighting them up every day. You got to keep clearing them. Hopefully that makes sense. So anyway, the Esoteric Book Club is online on Telegram. And the reason I'm doing Telegram is for the obvious. I'm not going to give one fucking iota of attention on WhatsApp, though I still have people on WhatsApp on my groups. And that's okay, but we're trying to get them into Telegram. Yes, I know about the 70,000 deviant MFers who were caught but not caught and rounded up to face justice. I know about that. But I also know that in everything that we experience on this planet, there is heaven and there's hell. There's evil and there's good. And it's weird how it's even applied in apps, to be honest, sadly. And let's be honest, on another level, if they really wanted to shut people down like that, they could do it in 3 weeks, but they don't want to for whatever reason. And I'm sure they have their own reasons for that as well. So just wanted to tell you that it's up. Hey, Starseed work, how are you, light workers? Follow Starseeding Lightworker. She has incredible content. She's an incredible Starseed emerging teacher. You may want to also follow her and look at her content. It's really fantastic. She makes it so that it's easily digestible, but if you can relate to it, you'll go, oh my God, you too, I'm not alone. It's that kind of content. It's really, really cool. Any other comments or questions today? So if you want to join the group, if you want to invite one of your girlfriends to join the group, this is not a man's book, to be honest, okay? So if any of you are men out there, no offense to you, it's a chick book, okay? It's not your book. However, moving forward after that, if you're a man and you want to join our esoteric, you're more than welcome. Because after that, all the books are going to be very esoteric on various ideas. I'm toying with the idea of triggering the Esoteric Book Club at some point 6 months in, with a David Icke book, to be honest, just to fucking fuck shit up, so we can really get our hands fucking dirty, because he doesn't play games. So I'm kicking with that idea, for example, but we'll be going through probably every 6 weeks. We'll meet every week, which is good. Probably we're trying to figure out if Sunday's a good time. We're trying to also come up with a time that will agree with our brothers and sisters in Europe. We don't have enough people in Australia to make it worth our while, to be honest, right now. It's not big enough. But if it does, then I could probably batch up a group of Australian people and South African people to match on that timeline. But for now, I'm trying to gather the group in the UK, Europe, and the USA. Because it'll be good for you to see and to listen to other people's points of views and why and how and you know, all of that good stuff. So this book is also about forgiving the unforgivable. It kind of explains why we have amnesia. It does explain in some levels why a soulmate can fuck you up. I'm sorry, and betray you. I don't know why people, oh, it's a soulmate. If it's a soulmate, it wouldn't hurt you. Yes, some soulmates will fuck you up. Some soulmates are born with their own trauma on a purpose to create a dynamic where you're going to be, you're going to advocate for yourself and not take their shit. In spite of them, loving them. Like right now I'm working with a client who, I've been working with her for 5 years, believe it or not. Because she couldn't let go. She could not let go, okay? And that's not a judgment call, because we all know how that works with a twin flame. But now finally I've been able to help her understand that she may love her twin flame because she loves his soul, but she doesn't like him as a person at all. In fact, he's an asshole, and she knows it. So she's not going to come into union in this incarnation. She knows it. She's been holding sacred space. She's tried to break it up many, many times. I'm giving you an example of her because it's a great example. And she can't, but now, guess what? Now she can. The portals of her heart. This is about our survival. Just so you know, on the side note, how we survive as a species, human species, is that we will shut shit down so that we can get things done. And if that means shutting down a twin, don't think it can't happen. It can. The fuckery has to be so egregious over time. The betrayal has to be so egregious. The words not matching the action not matching the words, for example, after a while, it gets sickening. It just gets sickening. Does that make sense? Sorry, my girl and Naga's warning me of probably the FedEx guy. Anyway, so hopefully that makes sense to you. Good girl. And you know, good girl. And what else can I say? Yeah, I think that's about it. I just wanted to kind of get you up to snuff as to what we're doing. And I'm excited about this group. We're not going to start this... We can't start actually this Sunday, but we're going to probably start the first Sunday of February is what I'm looking at. That's what I'm shooting for. And again, it would be Zoom. I'm not going to record it. I don't think we should. I think it's too ponderous. You either can make it or you can't. It's that kind of thing. We'll vote on that, to be honest with you. I'll let everyone vote. If they want me to record it, then I will. And then at that point, I'll be uploaded on YouTube to a private link that is kept private to keep your own privacy, you know. So I do want people to use their first names, though. Yeah, don't use like, you know, crazy names. You don't have to show yourself at all. But that's going to be what we're going to do. Anything. So we get the book. Do we get this book on your site? Mama Yeti. No, I just on the, if you go to the group on Telegram, you'll see I send you a link that's directly from Amazon, and you can get it on Kindle or get the book. Personally, I would get the book only because the paperback, it's a nice, beautiful, big paperback. It's got big fonts, you know, and you can highlight shit, underline shit, I think. But if you're a Kindle girl, I mean, you know, get it on Kindle. But the link is direct. For whatever reason, Amazon. And seriously, if I could not do it on Amazon, I would totally sell it directly on my site. By the way, it's $11.11. But if I sold it directly to you, honestly, and I didn't use Amazon, which, trust me, if I had like 5 or 10 grand to just do this, I would have been off Amazon in terms of selling it directly through their site. But I have no choice. So, but it's affordable. It's $11.11. And the Kindle, I believe, is $4.99. But if I were you, I would do the paperback because, you know, you'll have it in front of you while we're doing Zoom and stuff like that. And that's going to be with a lot of books. Like, for example, if we do, so thank you for that question, Red Mama. And I would do this with all the books subsequently. That's usually not what I say typically. You know how I tell you to really go with Audible books. But moving forward, a lot of the books we're going to recommend, we'll recommend 3 every 6 to 12 weeks. Books are going to be under about, 300 pages or less. The recommendation is 3 chapters per week, to read. And that's going to actually kick you in the ass to actually read some books. I'm not joking. And then I'll present 3 books. And that I think it'll be based on what you guys are saying in these talks. And one of the books, so I was in meditation this morning, one of the books that came up immediately due to what's going to happen with our conversation on chapter 1 of Recall, I know you guys are going to get triggered as fuck, because it's out there in terms of Catholicism and things of that nature. You'll see what I mean. And so the next book I was thinking, and there'll be like 3, is going to be The Gnostic Gospels by Elaine Pagels, a Princeton University professor on theology who is a true diehard Catholic, who actually I was emailing, believe it or not, I was emailing her at Princeton, asking her questions to make sure that I was on the right track with what I was saying. I was directly and she was actually fucking contacting me. She was amazing, totally approachable, very cool, very wonderful woman who gave me her time and I told her I was writing this book and I needed to make sure I wasn't saying the wrong things, right? Misinformation, right? And so I would love for us to read her book. There was a PBS show based on her book in 1998 or 1999, thereabouts. That was incredible, about the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Gnostic Gospels. And Mary Magdalena being an equal. This is when I first realized, oh shit, we've been lied to. That's when it hit me like a ton of bricks. And the guy, the SOB who actually taught the world that Mary of Magdalena was a whore was Pope Benedict. I think it was in the 15th century when he combined all 3 Marys. And that act was so fucked up, because it added the nail in the coffin. We already had Eve who had, went against God to eat the fruit of knowledge, right? And I remember doing a stand-up, a spoken word for a thing that my girlfriend, who's also been in a twin flame journey and almost damn near took her life. She got cancer, throat cancer over it, but let me get back to it. And it was called Stand Up Naked Women in Art. And I did an 18-minute spoken word on art, on female subjugation through various means in the last 2,000 years. That was supported by both the patriarchy and the matriarchy. Believe me, remember Handmaid's Tale? Who's fucking running it as well? Fucking chicks, right? So I don't want to hear women going, oh yeah, we all stick together. No, we don't. That's the problem. And we haven't. And as I tell women, study a harem. Go study a harem. Do you know how many women don't even know what a harem is? Study a harem for fucking 45 minutes to an hour, and you will be shocked. You'll sit back going, holy fuck. Holy fuck. Acts of violence, betrayal, and fuckery by women upon women in situations of bondages, just on the side note. Okay, so anyway, Pope Benedict did his fuckery. I did the spoken word, and I talked about how Eve was told, and again, depending on who the snake is, the devil, Lilith morphing into the devil, there's all kinds of stories about that. But anyway, and saying, if you eat from this, you will know everything. You will know everything. Well, the mark of an intelligent, curious person is that they want to know everything. Isn't that why we're here? We want to know, why am I here? What is my mission? What is my purpose? What is the purpose of these existences? So she eats the apple, and I asked the crowd, if that apple was offered to you, would you eat from it? And everyone went, yeah, of course. We would all have eaten from it, male and female. So it's interesting how we've been shamed for questioning, and we still are subtly being shamed for questioning anything. Don't question anything. Just go with the fucking flow. Just, shut up and put your head down and just shut up and work. And don't question anything. And that is something that is a subtle and not so subtle brainwashing that has really kept us captive in these looping hamster reincarnation wheels for fucking a long ass time. Way too long. Many of us have been looping in 3D planet Earth for way too long, past our need to continue. And the real thing, in my opinion, that has kept us looping is in our inability to forgive others, the unforgivable, and to forgive ourselves. And I had a client who blew my mind because she really took the act of forgiveness to levels that still brings tears to my eyes. Her father was doing you know what to her when she was a child. You can imagine, right? And she forgave him. She forgave him, and he's still in her life. He still weeps his regret, his shame, but that's on him. But talk about she forgave him. So forgiving the impossible is going to have to be something we learn how to do for ourselves, so that we're not chattels in this planet anymore, so that we can escort this planet to 5D. So the Esoteric Book Club, that was something I talked about. I just kept waiting for someone to just do it, because it's like, but I've committed to it with you guys. Will I once in a blue moon not make it? Probably. It might happen. I'm going to be honest with you. Every blue moon it could happen. But if we do it on a Sunday, I'll make sure that I'm not doing hypnotherapy sessions on those days. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll make sure that the hypnotherapy session is way later, so I can get my head together, because I know the plan is to have 60-minute sessions, all of us together on the Zoom calls, to hash out a book or hash out 3 chapters at a time to understand what it means to us personally. But I know how passion and curiosity and debate happens, and so it could like schedule yourself for 90 minutes just in case. But I will put my foot down at 90 minutes only because I don't want, it could go on forever. I'm not joking. I remember doing healing circles, and the goal was at most 90 minutes, and would turn into, I'm not joking, 4 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. We'd be up there in the mountains until like fucking midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and just shaking with joy. But we can't do that. So we can't do that. All right. Any questions or comments? Let me see here. So who wants to join the book club? Again, who wants to join the book club? Let me know if you're interested in joining. Let me see you. It's a powerful book. I read it within 3 to 4 days. I highly recommend it in physical form. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, D.S. Williams. Thank you for that. It's going to get you going. Do we get the book? Okay, yeah. Okay, any other questions or comments? Any other question? Who wants to join the book club? After this book, 4 books will be put in front of, 3 or 4 books, it depends. And you guys will vote on it. You'll vote on which book we're going to hit next. And it'll go like that for the entire year. So the fortunate thing is many of these books you'll be able to get on eBay. Some of these books are like $4 free shipping. So it's not going to be in fact, it's better for you to just buy the damn book than go to the library and check it out for 3 weeks, because you might have late fees, this, that, and the other. And to be honest, even the gas, just going to the library, it's just fuck it. Just buy the book for $4 or $5 and you're good to go. Okay? And then you'll start growing a library based on this Esoteric Book Club. And if you have friends that you feel are going to be aligned with this, feel free to give them the link. The link is on my link tree on my TikTok profile. For those of you who have already jumped on to the Esoteric Book Club, the link to buy the book is there. And then I get a lot of my books from eBay, thrift books. On the side note, sometimes actually Amazon is cheaper, believe it or not. Every blue moon, I'm trying to not buy on Amazon. I'm trying to give the money to small pop and mom situations, so that they can gain autonomy in their finances and do what they want, and maybe make extra money, or maybe it's their whole entire living. I don't know. But try to find booksellers. Go to your local bookshops. Try to like, I know it's a pain in the ass maybe for some of you, but especially with the winter and the snows up in the Northeast, but try to give your money to booksellers. These little mom and pop shops that are open and they are resellers of books. Try to, call them up and say, hey, do you have this book, that book? And what we might do to help you is come up with maybe 6 months of books. And we can all kind of decide which books, we'll see. We're going to feel it through. We're going to intuitively navigate together as a group as to what is probably the next most important book. You're definitely welcome to throw in your ideas of books, but make sure that they're in alignment with ideas of manifestation. The book I do want to recommend at some point is Mind Power into the 21st Century. I do definitely want to recommend that because it will teach you, and we can discuss manifestations, and we can discuss the feeling energy and the holographic universe in some depth. And I think it'd be great for all of you to get the ability to share your wisdoms of how you've manifested X, Y, and Z. That would be awesome. I think that'd be a great thing. And then, so we're going to try to keep the books under 300 pages. And at some point, the big bang is going to be where we choose the mother of all mothers, the Gutenberg Bible of esoteric spiritual awakening. There is a book I'm thinking of right now, but it could totally change in like 9 months from today. And it's called Tantra Illuminated. And I think that might be an idea, but who knows, right? We may come up with something even better than that, and I wouldn't be surprised. There's so many fantastic books. So who wants to join? Let me know, because I'd love to meet you on the Telegram. And it's if you want to ascend, right? Okay, great. Feel free. Just go on my link tree and go ahead and join. There's a Telegram link. Just scroll down the images. It'll say hypnotherapy, this and the other. And you'll see, it'll say Esoteric Book Club. And so you do need to download Telegram if you don't have it. And all of our calls will always be on Zoom. And that will be, the link will be sent to you on Telegram. And the reason also I'm sharing Telegram as a portal for us to speak, so that we can speak about anything, and not worry and not look over our shoulders or whatever, and just say anything we want. And then hopefully we can find some solutions to maybe any fears, any rage, any despair. To me, it guarantees privacy. Do you know the guy who founded Telegram is still in jail in France right now? He's refusing to divulge anything. So to me, that's a fucking that's a testimonial of his tenacity. Okay, he's doing it for the freedom for all of us to express ourselves, including the MFers who are unfortunately doing the same, sadly. So there's always a price to pay, but I prefer that over us supporting Meta. And I know some of you don't feel guilty, okay? I know many of you have Facebook accounts. You've had them since fucking 2000 whatever, right? I've had mine since 2008. There's pictures, there's videos, there's memories. There's the concern of trying to be able to, download all those digital information and to make sure it's not going to come into corrupted hardware where one day you can't access it. There's all these fears. And so take your time in downloading your stuff, because you never know, and you should anyway, on the side note. But if you can't let go of Facebook, you just don't feel guilty, okay? Just do the best you can. But for me, I know that we can easily stop using WhatsApp, okay? We can easily do that. That's not going to fucking stretch us in any way. Instagram, we can easily stop using that as well. Easily, okay? And you should. You should. Because to be honest with you, Instagram isn't giving us, it's never taught me shit, to be honest with you. I think I have two people on it. One is Ari, which I've talked about as a sacred divine masculine. He's amazing. He's incomparable. And he's the only guy I listen to. And there's no other content creator that I fucking listen to. I mean, there's no one. There's absolutely no one on Instagram that has ever influenced me in any which way. Not bad, not good, not... In other words, it's a neutral place where people share their egos. And that's about all I see on Instagram. For me, and that's my personal opinion. That doesn't mean you have to agree. Obviously, clearly. So if you want to join, go on the link. It's on my profile right here on TikTok, and just go down, just scroll down. You'll see it'll say Esoteric Book Club, and then hit it, and then join it, and then you can combine that with Goodreads. I haven't made any connection with Goodreads whatsoever. I'm not even promoting Goodreads. I don't give a shit. My book's not on Goodreads, actually. Wait, hang on. I think it is. I don't remember. I don't care. But I don't know. It's like, I don't know, but maybe you can actually connect so that you can track how many books you're committing to read in a year. I'm thinking if we do 6, good. I'm not about quantity. I'm not about reading Danielle Steele. No offense, God bless her. She's a hell of a businesswoman. But to me, if you're reading 6 fucking kick-ass books in a year that change the way you think, that brainwash the brainwashing, that resets you back to your original self as a spirit soul, and then you bounce right into some high dimensional understandings and conscious self-awareness and transformation that transforms your environment. 6 is better than 30 books that are supermarket pulp fiction crap that's not going to do shit for you except take you away from this reality. And we can't keep doing that. We cannot keep doing that. We cannot keep escaping this reality and then coming out of it, right? And then looking around going, oh fuck, it's still the same. The only way your reality around you is going to change is how you internally shift yourself so that you can manifest what many would call supernatural, impossible, whatever. That's the only way. And so the days of hiding behind the covers of your romance books and all of these, little pulp fiction books and these mysteries and these murder novels and all that needs to, no offense, that needs to fucking go. And commit yourself this year to doing esoteric books of spirituality, of manifestation, of teachings, of learning, of understanding, and the idea of having these amazing Zoom dialogues where we can actually hash it out. And learning how to process your own triggers. Maybe you'll be triggered by shit. Maybe you'll be scared by new information. Maybe it'll make you cry, and you'll cry and not know why you're crying. And I can tell you why you because your body's releasing all kinds of trauma, and it doesn't have words for it. It's too much, and it's not necessarily trauma for this incarnation. It could be trauma from past incarnations that are still trapped in you. Believe me, I have trauma as well from past lives. And I've been lucky to remember those lives. So I know exactly what happened and why I'm feeling X, Y, and Z, and processing that out of my consciousness, out of my body. And it's, I'm going to tell you something. This 3D reality we call a reality is completely within our power to change everything. The illusion that we can't change anything, that things will be like this forever, is thank God most of you who are Gen Xers and millennials and the other fucking alphabet channel of other generations that are coming through. You guys are innately can do. You have a bigger irreverence to the rules. You have an innate sense that things can change, and the problem is the bummers are the boomers. And I say that being a boomer. And I didn't really realize, because for a long, long time, I've been lucky to shelter myself from boomers and bimbos and, whatever. And so when I do connect with boomers, for the most part, not always, but for the most part, unfortunately, and when I say the most part, I mean like 95% of the time, I come across people who are, who've lost their belief that anything will ever change. They do not believe that anything can happen, that it's always been like that and it will always be like that. Imagine if the suffragette movement had thought that. Imagine if the civil rights people who were, organizing, if they had actually believed that nothing could change. It's unfucking real. And yet, that's how they think. So if you're a boomer that believes that you have no power, you may want to join this book club, because it will kick you in the ass. From here to Hong Kong and back. And you might actually, by the end of this year, be transformed into your truest self. And you will finally take the reins back of your life and make decisions that are bold and fierce and passionate and exciting, until the last breath. You will finally live an authentic life instead of a fear-filled life. Just asking and just saying, you may want to consider, I don't know, it's up to you. If you want to keep living a fucking boring life because you think this is it, if you want to keep doing this until your last breath, then who am I to tell you not to? But if you want to change, then, and I mean transform, when I say change, I mean transform, then this might be the book club you've been looking for. Okay? All right, any questions? Any questions on how to join? Do you guys know how to join? Any questions on that? Do you want to join? It's all set. It's free, of course. It's free. The only thing that's not free, the books, and you got to buy them. Just on the side note, just in case you think I'm making money on the first book, Recall, I make about $2.03 per book. So I'm not making that much money. And if 6 of you are joining, or 8 or 9 of you are joining to do this book club with me, and with Andromeda Flame when she has time, yeah, you can calculate in your head. So it's not a money grabbing situation at all. What it is I feel as if you'll get to know me more. It might break the ice for you, especially if you don't know me. And it will also go right into what you have been listening to me for a long time, for years, which is your twin flame journey. It's about that. And then we'll go into what you need to learn to be able to successfully navigate your twin flame journey, you see? But first, we need to talk about the twin flame. And forgiveness, ascension, betrayal, karmic loops, high-level soulmates, things of that nature, and the root chakra, okay? We have to go there. And once we're there, we can go on to the next phase of our learning together, all right? Any other questions or comments? No? All right. Sending you much love on your journey. I really appreciate your time. Be well. Namaste.